In just a few days, comedian Bill Cosby goes on trial for a second time, accused of aggravated indecent assault on former Temple University employee Andrea Constand more than a decade ago.
Cosby's first trial ended last June when a jury couldn't decide whether the 80-year-old drugged and assaulted Constand, leading to a mistrial. Here to preview what's ahead in the case is CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman. Rikki, good morning.
Good morning.
The environment has changed since that trial.
To say the least.
Yes.
Does
that mean the trial changes?
The trial completely changes. You have to understand that he was tried last June. The Me Too movement, as a result of the dominoes falling from Ailes to O'Reilly to Weinstein, et cetera, that all happened really and blossomed in the fall of 2017. So what changes for Bill Cosby? At the time of the original trial, it was looked at that you had basically the one and only word of this accuser, Andrea Constand, buoyed up by one other accuser. And in that world, we believed collectively as society that we were skeptical of one woman's word about an assault, indecent assault that occurred years ago without more. Well, now Me Too, now the presumption has totally changed. It's exactly the inverse. We believe that an accusation by a woman, whether or not corroborated, must be truthful. And here, now we're going to have lots of women who are going to support her. If Bill Cosby had tried this case for the second time in October, early in October, it would be different than now.
We're also going to hear from more women in this case.
More women indeed. The first trial, as I said, one, now, count them, 5. The prosecution had asked for a total of 19 other accusers. The defense said it would be unduly prejudicial. They wound up with the judge ruling that 5 could come in. 5 is as bad as 19.
It is.
For the defense.
Why is he allowing 5 this time?
Well, he decided that when he looked at the rule says you cannot try a person on character, propensity to act. Just because they did something once doesn't mean that we should listen to other times about that. What he decided is under Rule 404, which is a universal rule, but in Pennsylvania, that there are exceptions to this rule that you don't allow what we call prior bad acts or uncharged misconduct. And one of those exceptions means that it was a signature, that what he did, we had a common scheme or plan.
A modus operandi.
An MO, as they say in thrillers. And so this MO was to drug women and then to take sexual advantage of them when they were unable to consent. So 5 are coming in. They are 5 of the more recent, even though they go back to the 80s. Let's count that, the 80s.
This is a win, obviously, for the prosecution in getting them to be on the stand. But the defense won a couple motions that could also play a role as well.
Yes, they did. And this is a new trial. First of all, they have a new lawyer. They have Tom Mesereau. Tom Mesereau, by the way, Robert Blake fame, Michael Jackson fame. And in Michael Jackson, there were also 5 other accusers. So keep that in mind. So here, what the defense also won goes to their theory of the case. The defense is not doing this was a romantic consensual relationship, which is how the first trial was. The defense is portraying, or is going to attempt to portray, Andrea Constand, the accuser, as a greedy woman who was willing to frame Bill Cosby. How do they intend to do that? They got a ruling that says that her settlement, which is purported to be some $3.5 million, that is coming in, did not come in the first time, and that she was in it for the money. How else do they do it? They have a witness named Margot Jackson. Ms. Jackson is going to testify allegedly that Andrea said to her that I am going to frame a celebrity and get money.
All right, it's going to be a very interesting case, Rikki Klieman.
I'll be back with you.
Every day, right?
Rikki, thanks for being here.